Antioch Peverell. The legend says three brothers met death by outsmarting him. Sometime around the year 1214, Antioch Peverell, the eldest, asked for a wand powerful enough to defeat anyone, basically saying, "Make me invincible." Death, being petty and poetic, gave him exactly what he wanted, a wand that guaranteed victory until it didn't. Antioch strutted into a nearby village bragging about his invincible weapon, showing it off like it was the new iWand Pro Max. He challenged a rival wizard, blasted him into the next century, and spent the rest of the night getting hammered about it. One night later, he celebrated like he'd just won the House Cup, then promptly lost the Life Cup. Moral of the story, don't flex your mythic murder stick in public. Historians date this duel to the early 13th century, and while the Deathly Hallows tale blurs myth and fact, it's considered the first confirmed trace of the Elder Wand. Its first wielder didn't just invent the legend, he invented the curse, every owner doomed to die for it. And who killed him? Probably the next wizard on our list, someone even worse. Someone called Emeric the Evil. The name says it all. Around 1420, Emeric the Evil rose to power in medieval Britain, and he wasn't exactly subtle. A dark wizard obsessed with domination, he used the Elder Wand to terrorize villages across the English countryside during the 15th century. Records call him a necromancer and a murderer of men. But Emeric's reign ended the same way Antioch's did, violently. He challenged another powerful sorcerer named Egbert the Egregious and lost. One quick duel later, Emeric's tyranny and his head were over. The wand had a new master, and the pattern of blood continued. Egbert the Egregious. In the year 1432, Egbert earned his ridiculous title after defeating Emeric in what's described as one of the most explosive duels of the era. He ruled the wand briefly, too briefly. His rise marked a turning point from myth to history. For the first time, magical records mentioned the Elder Wand by name, but Egbert's victory only fueled its legend, drawing more hunters, more killers, and more chaos. And soon that chaos would take a scholar's form, the man who studied dark magic so deeply he tried to write a book about it. Gellert. By the late 1400s, the Elder Wand ended up in the hands of a wizard named Gellert, one of the earliest recorded dark academics in magical history. Unlike the previous murderers, Gellert didn't just use the wand for destruction. He studied it. He treated it like a research project, a relic to be understood and then abused. Locked in his home, Gellert wrote a book called Magic Most Evil, a compendium of every forbidden spell known at the time. He believed the Elder Wand was a key to mastering death itself, but obsession and wisdom rarely mix. Around 1490, his own son turned on him. Some say the wand whispered to the boy. Others say it just got bored of the lecture. Whatever the truth, Gellert's story ended in a locked cellar, murdered by his heir who sealed the door and walked away with the wand. Hereward inherited both the Elder Wand and his father's paranoia. It's said that around 1490, he used the wand to overthrow every rival in his path, claiming he'd perfected his father's dark studies. In reality, he just repeated the same curse, power devouring its master. Hereward ruled for only a few years before vanishing under mysterious circumstances. Some believe his own apprentice poisoned him. Others think the wand itself rejected him. Either way, the bloody inheritance continued. By the 1500s, a new name rose from the shadows, one that turned dark magic into organized terror. Barnabas Deverell. Barnabas Deverell emerged as one of the most feared wizards in Britain. He wielded the Elder Wand with open cruelty, leading armies of dark followers and spreading chaos wherever he went. Historians describe his rule as an age of magical tyranny, when the wand was both crown and curse. Deverell's arrogance made him unstoppable until it didn't. He was eventually hunted down and slain by another power-hungry sorcerer named Loxias, who seized the wand for himself. And that's when the Elder Wand's bloodiest chapter truly began, the Wars of Loxias. By the early 1600s, the Elder Wand belonged to a man named Loxias, a dark warlord who treated murder like an Olympic sport. He used the wand to wage what historians call the Wars of Loxias, a bloody campaign across Europe where he challenged and executed anyone who dared question his rule. He was so feared that even his enemies refused to say his name aloud, whispering the Wand Lord instead. But as always, arrogance met its match. Loxias was overthrown by a rival witch or wizard, records differ, and his reign collapsed in a storm of curses so destructive that it supposedly cracked castle walls for miles. The wand vanished once more, drifting into history and into uncertainty. Some say it passed to Arcus, others to Livius. Arcus, Livius. Around 1670, the Elder Wand's trail fractures. Two names appear in surviving records, Arcus and Livius. Both claim to have killed Loxias and mastered the wand. One was said to be a duelist, the other a scholar of blood magic. No one knows which story is true, or if either man even existed. It's the wand's first true mystery. Two masters, one myth, and zero proof. For nearly 2 centuries, the Elder Wand disappeared completely until a foreign wand maker rediscovered it. Miku Grigorovich. By the late 1800s, the Elder Wand re-emerged in Eastern Europe in the possession of Miku Grigorovich, a master wand maker from what is now Germany or Poland. Unlike most before him, Grigorovich didn't crave domination, he craved innovation. He believed he could recreate the wand's power through science and craftsmanship, so naturally he bragged about it. He told the wizarding world he had found a wand beyond compare, which is basically the magical version of tweeting, "Come rob me." Within weeks, half of Europe wanted a piece of it, literally. For years, Grigorovich experimented on the wand, desperate to unlock its secrets, probably whispering, "for research purposes," every time something exploded. But one night in the early 1890s, a young thief broke into his workshop, silent, efficient, and terrifyingly gifted. The intruder stunned Grigorovich and vanished into the night, taking the wand with him. That thief was none other than Gellert Grindelwald, and what he'd do with it would change magical history forever. Gellert Grindelwald. By 1899, the Elder Wand was in the hands of Gellert Grindelwald, the most brilliant, dangerous, and persuasive dark wizard of the 20th century. And unlike every owner before him, Grindelwald didn't want the wand just to win, he wanted it to change the world. He preached freedom, peace, and unity between wizards, while secretly planning to enslave muggles for the greater good. With the Elder Wand, he didn't just duel, he dominated. His silver tongue and unmatched power ignited the global wizarding war, reshaping magical politics from Europe to America. But for all his power, Grindelwald's downfall wasn't a stronger spell, it was heartbreak. His closest friend and former lover, Albus Dumbledore, stood against him in 1945, in what is still called the greatest duel of all time. No one knows exactly what happened, only that when the smoke cleared, Grindelwald lay defeated, and Dumbledore held the Elder Wand. Grindelwald was imprisoned in Nurmengard, a fortress he built for others. He'd spend the rest of his life behind its walls, haunted by the one truth every owner learns too late. The wand never serves, it chooses. And its new choice was clear. The kindest man alive had just inherited the deadliest wand ever made. Albus Dumbledore. From 1945 to 1997, the Elder Wand rested in the hands of Albus Dumbledore, who did the impossible. He mastered it without letting it master him. For over 50 years, the wand served not destruction, but wisdom. It healed, protected, and defended Hogwarts from enemies both within and beyond. But power has a half-life, and Dumbledore knew it. He understood that owning the Elder Wand was like holding a live dragon by the tail, majestic, but fatal if you ever let it go. When he uncovered Voldemort's Horcruxes, Dumbledore tried to plan his own death, to make sure no one could win the wand's loyalty through murder. Then came 1997, the Astronomy Tower, the Lightning, the Avada Kedavra. But here's the twist. When Severus Snape cast the curse, the wand didn't switch allegiance to him, because moments earlier, Draco Malfoy had disarmed Dumbledore, technically defeating him, meaning without even realizing it, a 17-year-old Slytherin had become the wand's new master. Dumbledore's body fell, but his plan lived on. He'd ensured that power would pass not to the dark, but to the unsuspecting. The Elder Wand's loyalty shifted silently from a dying legend to a conflicted boy, whose next choice would change everything. Draco Malfoy. It happened in 1997, a moment so quick most fans missed it. Draco Malfoy, trembling and terrified, disarmed Dumbledore atop the Astronomy Tower. He didn't kill him, he didn't even want to, but the spell, Expelliarmus, sealed a magical contract the boy never understood. From that instant, instant, the Elder Wand's loyalty belonged to him. Draco never held it, never used it, and never even knew he possessed it. But fate did, and months later, when another boy disarmed Draco at Malfoy Manor, the wand's allegiance shifted again, this time, for the final time, to Harry Potter. But we'll get to him soon, because first the Dark Lord made one fatal mistake. He thought the wand was his. Voldemort. Lord Voldemort had finally found the weapon he believed would make him unstoppable, the Elder Wand. He broke into Dumbledore's tomb, stole it from his coffin, and proclaimed it his ultimate weapon, the one tool that would finally kill the boy who lived. But he was wrong, because the wand was never his. Voldemort believed killing Snape, Dumbledore's supposed murderer, would make him the true master, but the wand had already moved on, long before that night. Its allegiance belonged to Draco Malfoy, and then to Harry Potter. Every curse Voldemort cast weakened him, every duel pushed him closer to death, and in the Great Hall, when he raised it one last time, the Elder Wand turned on him. The curse rebounded, killing its false master, and ending 15 centuries of bloodshed. Harry Potter. In the end, the Elder Wand had chosen its final master, Harry Potter. But it didn't happen in some epic duel or prophecy-driven ceremony. It happened by accident, like everything else in Harry's life. When he disarmed Draco Malfoy at Malfoy Manor, the wand's invisible loyalty snapped again, abandoning its cursed legacy for a boy who never wanted it. So when Voldemort tried to kill him with his wand, it wasn't loyalty, it was karma. After the war, Harry stood in what was left of Hogwarts, the most powerful wizard alive, holding the most dangerous wand in history. And then he did something no one else ever had. In the book, Harry returned the Elder Wand to Dumbledore's tomb, but in the film, he simply snapped it in half, like a true millennial solving a 1,000-year problem with zero paperwork. Either way, the curse was broken. For the first time in history, the Elder Wand didn't end with a murder, it ended with mercy. So, I guess you could say Harry Potter really was the boy who lived and finally let the wand die. The Elder Wand story is only the beginning. Next lesson at Stickman Hogwarts, every official wand core and wood explained in detail. Snape's already started. Click before he deducts points for breathing too loudly.